All right, so today we are continuing on with our animal report for English. And yesterday for science, we focused on how to research the characteristics of your animal. And that was because today we are going to be looking at doing the characteristics writing section of your reports. So you should be finished your introduction. If not, please get it in today. You need to make sure that it's finished before you start your characteristics writing so you don't get confused, okay? So if you haven't finished it, don't watch the video yet. Only watch the video once you've finished your introduction writing, okay? So yesterday we did the research about your animal's characteristics, and it looked like this down here, okay? So here it is for you, voila. And I came to you live from the Arctic, and it was very cold. So I'm happy to be back in the UAE in the warmth because it was freezing. So we talked about polar bears, and that was all of the information about the characteristics of polar bears that I found. So now I'm going to take this information and I'm going to write the next part of my report. So I'm going to write it on my report page, okay, with capital letters, with proper punctuation, and with complete sentences. And it's going to be on this page here, okay? So this is our draft page. This is our rough copy page. So we are starting off. You need to have one topic sentence, and we've talked about topic sentences before when we did information writing. And the topic sentence tells the reader the paragraph will describe the way the animal looks. So you need to think of a good sentence, just one, that describes the way the animals look, okay? Then you need to come up with 4 or 5 sentences that answer all of those questions, and that's where you use your research. So remember that I talked about all of these different things that you could write about for your research. And they gave you a little list of questions that you could look up on Google and things like that. So that is what you need to have. So we are starting with the topic sentences. So every paragraph we write, it needs to start with an introduction. And remember that we know from Sunday that the introduction needs to draw the reader in. So the topic sentence basically explains what the paragraph will be about in an exciting way. So remember that Miss Julia her animal report project is on brown bears. So she is going to write, let's take a look at some of the characteristics of brown bears. That's one idea, okay? The second idea, the brown bear has many exciting features and attributes. And she actually took that from up here. There's the words features and attributes, okay? Or brown bears have so many interesting features. So there's 3 ideas for you to look at. You maybe have an idea of a more exciting sentence talking about what your animal looks like, okay? Again, maybe you want to ask a question. Maybe you just want to say that it's one of the biggest animals in the world, okay? Anything that you can think of that's an exciting sentence, okay? The first is just one sentence, the first part of your paragraph, and it's to make it so it's exciting to read. It draws the reader in. So it should tell the way the animal looks. So maybe you ask a question. Did you know that this has 4 legs, 18 eyes, and 23 tails, or something? Obviously, I don't know an animal that has that, but you could come up with a question, or you could write a sentence, and you can use these 3 that Miss Julia has written to help you as a starting point, okay? But please don't write brown bear unless you're studying a brown bear. I don't want 23 topic sentences to say, let's take a look at some of the characteristics of a brown bear, okay? There are the words up here, characteristics, features, and attributes that you can use in your topic sentence if you would like to, but you don't have to. It's up to you. So that's the first part. So Miss Julia decided to do a little bit more than the topic sentence only. So you can do a little bit more too. So she wrote, the brown bear has many exciting features and attributes. In this section, I will tell you all about their characteristics, like their size, their body covering, and other unique parts. So you can actually write more than one sentence if you so wish, but Miss Julia added a little bit more to keep it interesting, and also this is what she's going to talk about. So it's a good idea to put that in as well because it's going to help explain what she's talking about in in the next paragraph, or for the rest of the paragraph when you put it together. But it's up to you. If you want to only do the one sentence and you're happy with that and you think this is super exciting and really draws me in, great. That is fine. You don't have to do anything additional. Okay, be as creative as you can, be as creative as you want, keep it interesting, like I said. Maybe use some wow words if you can. Remember the dictionaries, thesauruses, those are all very useful things. But also, you need to do it, so make sure that you're writing it. And if you need help with spelling, go to a dictionary instead of asking mom and dad. This is your work, and you need to be proud of it, okay? So here's the next part. So now you are taking the research that you've done, and you are going to write 4 or 5 sentences. That's it. 4 or 5 sentences that show off the research that you did yesterday, okay? So if a brown bear stood up on its back paws, it would be almost 5 feet tall. So that covers how tall it is. So I'm going to cross off the height. So that's one sentence. Brown bears can weigh up to 1,500 pounds. That's 2. And that talks about the weight of a brown bear. Okay, perfect. They are humongous. That's actually a third one. But Miss Julia wrote it to keep it interesting. So she made it a really cool word just to explain how big they are. So the next one says, their bodies are covered in thick brown fur to keep them warm. So there you go. That's number 4. And that is, what is the body covering? So we have those 2 sections done, and we've had 4 sentences already. Brown bears have a special feature like a hump on their shoulders and nose. So here's a special feature. That's sentence 5. So special feature. Males are larger than females, and some brown bears can have creamy silver or black fur. So that's a 6th sentence. So this is really well done because we have 6 sentences. Even though you only need 4 or 5, you can write more, okay? So make sure that you're going through this part up here and checking off the parts that you have. So, and go and look through your research and make sure that you've added all of your research in your own sentences. So I don't want you to copy what you found on the internet. You need to write it in your words, okay? And you can just go through and cross off the ones that you've done. So you know that you've done all of it. And make sure that you have written 4 or 5 sentences, okay? And remember, I should have all of your research, so I'll be checking to see how it's done, okay? And if you have added all of your great research that you've done, because otherwise it's just a waste of your research if you don't add everything in. So now it's your turn. So the first thing that you're going to do today is look at the research that you have worked on, or finish the research. You should have started it already. I know some of you have sent it to me, and it's really good. Make sure that you have at least 4 or 5 things in your research. If you need a little bit more, then you can go and do some more research before you do this page. The second job is that you need to write your topic sentence. So remember, keep it interesting, exciting. You can write 1 sentence or you can write 2 sentences. The second sentence explaining what you will be talking about in the upcoming sentences. Third step, start to work on the body of your paragraph. So that means that you need to take what you've learned, write down your facts as sentences. Remember, capital letters, punctuation, and make sure that your sentences make sense. The fourth step, Read it out loud to make sure it will make sense. This will help you to fix any punctuation or incomplete sentences. So, okay, remember to check your work over and make sure it makes sense. And the last thing you need to do, number 5, is submit it on Class Dojo. You can submit it as soon as it's finished. It is due on Thursday, so you have some time to get that in, okay? So just ignore this part right here. Okay, so it's due on Thursday. Okay, so you have a few days to make it perfect. Don't rush. I want it really nice, even though it's your rough drafts. Okay, so really make it amazing and add in. And if you don't have enough sentences, I will be sending it back to you because you need at least 4. Okay, so check your sentences. Make sure you have at least 4 important facts and that they make sense and they flow nicely together in your writing. So you can't just say that a brown bear weighs this much, it has fur, the fur is brown, it's big. Okay, that's not a very, even though that's 4 sentences, that's not very nice. It's not exciting to read and it's kind of boring as well. So you really want to try to make your writing as good as you can, okay? So that's it. Have fun, and I look forward to seeing your character